Hi, I'm Sophia. I've been working as a data analyst at Texan Industries for 3 years, and I loved my job. Past tense, because 6 months ago, everything changed when Marcus Chen joined our team. Hey, Sophia, how's the quarterly analysis coming along? Marcus leaned against my cubicle with that smile he always wore, the one that seemed friendly but never reached his eyes. Really well, actually, I said, pulling up my spreadsheet. I've identified some major inefficiencies in our supply chain. Could save the company millions. Millions? That's impressive. He moved closer to my screen. Mind if I take a look? Maybe I can offer some insights. Sure, I guess. I walked him through my methodology, the data sources, the projections. Marcus nodded along, asking questions that seemed thoughtful at the time. This is brilliant work, Sophia. Really brilliant. He patted my shoulder. You should be proud. My colleague Jen walked by and stopped. What are you two plotting over here? Sophia's working on something amazing, Marcus said. Going to revolutionize how we approach supply chain management. Jen raised an eyebrow. Sophia, you're still coming to lunch, right? We need to talk about the Peterson account. Yeah, absolutely, I said, grabbing my bag. In the cafeteria, Jen picked at her salad while I explained my project in more detail. So you've been working on this for what, 3 months? She asked. 4, actually. It's been consuming my life. And Marcus is just now getting interested? He seems genuinely curious about the methodology. Why? Jen set down her fork. Sophia, I need to tell you something. Last week, I overheard Marcus talking to David from the executive team. Okay? He was describing a project that sounded exactly like yours, but he kept saying my analysis and my findings. My stomach dropped. That doesn't make sense. He asked me about it like it was new today. I know. That's why I'm telling you. Jen leaned forward. Be careful with him. I've heard things. What kind of things? Remember Sarah from accounting? She left last year pretty suddenly? Yeah, she got a job somewhere else, right? That's the official story, Jen said quietly. But I heard Marcus took credit for her automation system. When she complained, he made her look incompetent. She couldn't prove it was her work. That's insane. Just protect your files, okay? And maybe don't share everything with him. But it was too late. The next morning, I arrived to find Marcus in our manager's office, door closed, gesturing enthusiastically. Through the glass wall, I could see my charts on the screen. I waited until he emerged. Marcus, can we talk? Sure. What's up? That same smile. Were you just presenting my supply chain analysis? Your analysis? He laughed. Sophia, we collaborated on that. I thought you understood. Collaborated? I did all the work. You asked questions yesterday. I've been consulting on this project for weeks. Just because I don't sit at your desk doesn't mean I'm not contributing. His voice stayed level, almost condescending. Maybe you're not seeing the bigger picture. The bigger picture? Marcus, those are my formulas, my data collection. Our manager seems to think it's a team effort. Maybe you should focus on being a team player instead of trying to take all the credit. Heat rushed to my face. I'm not trying to take credit. It's my work. Is it, though? He tilted his head. Because I remember having several strategic discussions that shaped the direction. But hey, if you want to make this a thing, we can talk to HR about who contributed what. The threat was clear. His word against mine, and he'd been here longer, had better relationships with management. You know what? Forget it, I said, turning away. Smart choice, he called after me. I went straight to Jen's desk. You were right. He's stealing my project. What are you going to do? Jen asked, pulling me into an empty conference room. I don't know. He's already told management it's his. Do I even have proof? Don't you have files? Timestamps? On my work computer, yes. But he could say I was just executing his vision. Jen tapped her fingers on the table. We need to talk to other people. Find out if he's done this before. We started with Tom from IT. He met us for coffee that afternoon. Marcus Chen? Tom whistled. Yeah, I know him. What's he done now? Why do you assume he's done something? I asked. Because guys like that always do something. Tom stirred his coffee. He came to me 6 months ago asking about file access logs. Wanted to know if there was a way to see when files were created and modified. That's oddly specific, Jen said. Right? I told him it could pull those records, but only for security issues or HR investigations. He dropped it real fast. Has he taken credit for other people's work? I asked. Tom leaned back. I can't prove anything, but yeah, I've heard stories. There was this whole thing with the marketing team last year. What thing? Some campaign strategy that won an industry award. Marcus's name was on it, but the woman who actually created it left the company right after. I heard she was pretty upset. I felt sick. So this is a pattern. Seems like it, Tom said. But here's my question. Why would the company keep someone like that around? Because he's good at taking credit, Jen said bitterly. He looks productive without actually doing the work. Back at the office, I ran into David, the executive team member Jen had mentioned. Sophia, great timing, he said. Marcus mentioned you helped with some data collection for his supply chain project. Nice work. Helped with data collection? My voice came out sharper than intended. Yeah, he said you were instrumental in gathering the raw data. Really team-oriented of you to support his analysis. David, that's not what happened. Listen, I've got a meeting, but keep up the good work. We need more team players like you. He walked away before I could correct him. I found Marcus in the break room looking smug. You told David I just collected data? I did the entire analysis. Calm down, Sophia. You're making a scene. I don't care. This is my work. Was your work? He said quietly. Now it's going to the CEO next week. I'm presenting it to the executive board. You can't be serious. I'm dead serious. And unless you want everyone to know you're the kind of person who can't work in a team environment, I suggest you drop this. A few other coworkers had gathered, watching our exchange. Marcus is right, Sophia, said Karen from HR, who apparently was within earshot. Collaboration is important here. Maybe you should focus on being more of a team player. I couldn't believe it. He's lying about his contribution. That's a serious accusation, Karen said coldly. Do you have proof? Marcus raised his hands in mock surrender. See, this is what I'm dealing with. I try to be collegial, share credit, and this is what happens. Share credit? I wanted to scream. Jen appeared at my elbow. Come on, let's go. She pulled me away before I said something I'd regret. This is insane, I said once we were alone. No one believes me. Then we make them believe you. Jen's eyes gleamed. What if we give Marcus exactly what he wants? What do you mean? He wants to present your analysis? Let him, but not the real one, she grinned. Give him something special, something that will make him look like an idiot in front of the CEO. A plan started forming in my mind. I'd need to create a fake data set, make it look legitimate enough that he won't question it. Can you do that? Yeah, I said slowly. Yeah, I can definitely do that. The next week, I created a masterpiece of deception. I built a completely false analysis with made-up statistics, impossible projections, and recommendations that contradicted basic business logic. But I formatted it exactly like my real work, used the same professional language, made it look absolutely authentic. Then I accidentally left it on the shared drive with a note. Final supply chain analysis. Do not share. Marcus took the bait within hours. Hey, Sophia, he said casually the next day. I noticed you updated the analysis file. Did I? Oh, right. Yeah. Made some final adjustments. Mind if I use those updates for the presentation? I pretended to hesitate. I don't know, Marcus. Maybe you should just use what you already have. Come on. Don't be petty. If there are improvements, the company should benefit. Fine. Use whatever you want. I turned back to my computer, hiding my smile. Presentation day arrived. The entire executive team gathered in the main conference room. I made sure to attend, claiming I wanted to see how our collaboration turned out. Marcus stood at the front, confident and polished. Thank you all for coming. Today, I'm going to share some groundbreaking findings about our supply chain efficiency. The CEO, Patricia Morrison, sat at the head of the table, eyes sharp and attentive. Marcus clicked through the slides, spouting my fake statistics with complete confidence. As you can see, we can reduce costs by 847%, while simultaneously increasing delivery speed by negative 32 days. Patricia's eyebrows rose. Negative 32 days? Yes, it's a revolutionary metric I developed. Marcus, Patricia interrupted. Did you say 847% cost reduction? That's correct. My analysis shows. That's mathematically impossible, said James, our CFO. You can't reduce costs by more than 100%. Marcus blinked. Well, if you look at the methodology. What methodology? Patricia leaned forward. These numbers don't make sense. According to this, we'd be paying suppliers to take our business. That's not quite. Marcus fumbled with his notes. And this recommendation section suggests we eliminate our quality control department to save money while simultaneously improving quality by 400%? Patricia's voice could cut glass. Marcus, did you actually read this analysis? Of course I did. I created it. No, he didn't, I said, standing up. I did. Both versions. Everyone turned to look at me. Sophia, what are you talking about? Marcus's face had gone pale. I created the original analysis. The real one. The one that actually makes sense. And when you stole it and claimed it as yours, I created this version specifically for you to present. Patricia's expression was unreadable. Explain. I pulled out my laptop. I have the original files, complete with timestamps and revision history. I also have emails where I outlined my methodology to colleagues, all dated before Marcus even knew about the project. And I have witnesses who heard him claim my work as his own. This is ridiculous, Marcus sputtered. Sophia is just angry that I took the lead on our collaborative project. Stop lying, I cut him off. There was no collaboration. You asked to see my work once, then immediately went to management and claimed it was yours. Patricia, I can explain. You told me you spent months on this analysis, Patricia said coldly. You specifically said you developed this methodology from the ground up. I did. We did. Sophia helped with data collection. I did all of it. I pulled up my files on the projector. Here's my original analysis, the one that actually makes sense. Compare the metadata on these files to anything Marcus has produced. Tom from IT stood up. I can verify the file timestamps if needed. Jen raised her hand. I can testify that Marcus was asking about Sophia's project as if he knew nothing about it, then days later claiming it was his work. David, the executive who'd called me a team player, looked uncomfortable. Marcus, you told me Sophia only helped with data collection. Because that's what I thought. I assumed. You assumed you could steal someone else's work and no one would notice, Patricia said. This is theft of intellectual property, corporate espionage. And you just humiliated yourself and this company in front of the entire executive team with fake data. Marcus's face twisted with anger. You set me up. You vindictive. He lunged toward me and I stepped back. Marcus! Patricia's voice cracked like a whip. Security! She ruined me. I'm going to. Marcus grabbed my arm roughly, shaking me. Let go of me. I tried to pull away. Tom and another colleague pulled Marcus back as security arrived. Get your hands off me! Marcus shouted, thrashing against them. This is assault! I'm the victim here! The victim? I stared at him. You stole my work, lied to everyone, and now you're physically threatening me? I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Patricia, I made a mistake. I can fix this. No, I said firmly. No apologies. No second chances. You knew exactly what you were doing. Please, Sophia, I'll tell everyone the truth. Just don't press charges. Too late for that, Patricia said. Security, escort Mr. Chen out of the building and call the police. We're pressing charges for assault and corporate theft. The police arrived within 20 minutes. I gave my statement. my arm still red where Marcus had grabbed me. "Miss Rivera, do you want to press charges for assault?" the officer asked. "Yes," I said without hesitation, and I wanted on record that he stole my intellectual property. "The company will be filing charges as well," Patricia added. "We have a zero-tolerance policy for this kind of behavior." Marcus was led away in handcuffs, still trying to apologize, still trying to explain. 2 days later, I sat in HR with Patricia and the legal team. "Your original analysis was brilliant, Sophia," Patricia said. "Genuinely brilliant. I want you to implement it, with full credit and a promotion to senior analyst." "Thank you," I said. "I appreciate that." "We're also conducting an internal investigation into Marcus's previous projects. It seems you weren't his first victim." Over the next week, 3 other employees came forward with similar stories. Sarah from accounting, who I'd heard about from Jen, even returned to give testimony. "He did the exact same thing to me," Sarah told me over coffee. "I'm so glad you caught him. I felt so alone when it happened." "Why didn't you fight back?" I asked. "I tried, but I didn't have proof, and everyone believed him over me." She smiled sadly. "You were smarter than I was." "I was angrier," I corrected, "and I had help." The legal process moved forward. Marcus tried to reach out multiple times. His lawyer called. "Miss Rivera, my client is willing to drop his countersuit if you drop the assault charges." "Countersuit? For what?" "Defamation and harassment." I laughed. "Tell Marcus the answer is no. To all of it." He sent emails. Long, rambling apologies mixed with accusations. I forwarded them all to my lawyer. He even showed up at the office building, but security turned him away. Finally, he managed to corner me in the parking garage one evening. "Sophia, please, can we just talk?" "No, Marcus, we have nothing to talk about. I lost everything, my job, my reputation. You did that to yourself. I made a mistake. People deserve second chances." "Not from me," I said, unlocking my car. "You're a thief and a liar. You hurt multiple people deliberately. And when you got caught, you physically attacked me. So no, you don't get forgiveness." I said I was sorry. "I don't care." I opened my car door. "Your apology means nothing. It doesn't undo what you did, and it doesn't entitle you to anything from me. So that's it? You're just going to ruin my life?" "You ruined your own life, Marcus. I just made sure everyone knew the truth." I got in my car. "Lose my number, lose my email, lose my address. If you contact me again, I'll get a restraining order." I drove away, leaving him standing there. The assault case went to trial 3 months later. Marcus pled guilty to a reduced charge and got probation, community service, and a restraining order requiring him to stay away from me and the company. The civil suit for intellectual property theft was settled out of court. Marcus had to pay damages to both me and Texan Industries. His career in our industry was effectively over. Jen and I celebrated with drinks at our favorite bar. "You did it," she said, raising her glass. "You actually did it." "We did it," I corrected. "I couldn't have pulled this off without you." "So what's next? Senior analyst Sophia Rivera?" "Next, I implement my actual analysis and save the company millions. I prove that doing good work actually matters." I smiled. "And I make sure no one else gets away with what Marcus tried to do." "That's my girl," Jen said. Tom joined us, looking pleased. "Heard the news? They're making changes to the file tracking system because of your case. Harder for people to steal work now." "Good," I said. "That's really good." Looking back, I don't regret any of it. Marcus made his choices. He chose to steal, to lie, to manipulate. And when he got caught, he chose violence. I just chose not to let him get away with it. Sometimes revenge isn't about hurting someone. It's about making sure the truth comes out and justice is served. It's about standing up for yourself and others who've been hurt. And sometimes, the best revenge is simply letting someone destroy themselves with their own lies. Has anyone ever stolen credit for your work? How did you handle it? Drop a comment below and let me know your story. And if you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe for more real-life revenge stories.